Hey y'all, gravity. Any day above ground, live it. Good morning to everybody. It is hell out here in Atlanta, but we gonna stay comfortable here, family, because this we got to talk about this Diane Yap character. She said a tweet yesterday. I need y'all to see this, but we're not gonna hit you with that way too quick because we got to go down a little bit with her history. Now, for those who don't know who Diane Yap is, go to Torian's page. He did a nice video on her, but I said, you know what? I got to cook her because I go a little further than that. I go a little further. I'll go down your rabbit hole. I will do that. And we went down her rabbit hole and we found some things. But anyway, let's see who's in the building. Torian, hello. Wallow J, hello. Mike 4282, hello. And Sean Tape, hello. By the way, I sent her the link because she was up this morning. She went again and tried to go at a black woman. So I called her right when she wrote it. So I said, you can come over here and refute anything I'm about to say. We know she ain't gonna show up, but if she does, I don't run from no smoke. But it's all good. We gonna have fun. We're not gonna belabor this anymore. We're going to get into it, and y'all got to see this tweet that she put out, and it got me looking at what the hell is wrong with this woman. I think there is something seriously wrong with this woman. Y'all ready? Oh, I know y'all ready. I know y'all ready. All right.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
She wrote this yesterday. She put this tweet up, right? I know this is from somebody else. It says, some people say she's wrong for bringing her baby to work because it's unsafe for a child, and others respect the fact that she's doing what she has to do. What y'all think? And it's from a black man. Cool. So somebody quote tweeted him and said, capitalism got us asking the wrong questions and having the wrong discussions about every situation. Diane Yap came in and said this, Tabernacle. Here's the right question. How can we incentivize people who cannot afford children to use long-term birth control or opt for sterilization? So you saw a tweet from a black man and a quoted tweet from a black man, and you started with sterilization. I saw that wayward aesthetic and good morning. I saw that. Now, I don't know if she kept it up, but we saw that. Shantae said Ming Hung Lo gives her the business on a regular basis. I know. Oh, I know. Jerry Bradford, good morning. Ty Quinn Campbell, good morning. She said this. Cool. Then she wrote, this attitude is why taxpayers are on the hook for children that people cannot afford. Repeat after me. If my taxes pay for bad incentives, they are my business. Okay. You mean also like taxpayers are on the hook for illegal immigration that comes from any race? I wonder if she feels the same about when her people come over here illegally. I wonder. I wonder. Now, this is an Asian woman. I hope y'all see this. This is an Asian woman who said this, allegedly. We know how the avatars on X work, but this might be an Asian woman. She said, none of your business, Diane. You are crossing the line here, starting to sound like God syndrome socialists of the 20th century. Then she said, I know you are being dishonest because your repeat is not the same as what I responded to. I guess she meant retweet. But I will drop the dishonest claim as long as you only believe in not incentivizing bad fertility decisions with your taxes and not using your taxes to incentivize their not reproducing. I realize the latter is dangerously close to WEF and early 20th century socialism misanthropy. As to my rationale for why you should have the courage to let people read the thread instead of clipping a picture, but here it is. Related, moral relativism and rationality have a limit, and that limit is human sanctity and autonomy. Without the latter, the former will degenerate quickly, and your kind of logic will put you and Diane on your own chopping block faster than you know. Yes, sir. But yeah, Diane, yeah, she wrote this shit. Somebody mentioned the low birth rates in China. Many Asian families also take their kids to work or use them as free labor too. Never mind that. Where's dad? You're disgusting. So supremacists showed up and were more focused on the baby than what the discussion was. They just missed it. And rightfully so. Most of the people in this thread called her out on it. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all coming in and just going through this. Did you really think that was it? Please, when you know that ain't it. I saw this other tweet. Right? Now, she didn't directly say anything to this, but shout out to Ming Hung Lo. We have been consistently telling AAP how y'all need to start calling out white folk because they're the ones majorly smashing y'all out here in the streets, not us. I'm gonna say something, family. I know y'all gonna get upset at me for saying this, but I gotta say it. The Asian community saw how we mobilize when a cop kills an unarmed black person, right? Or even a black person that legally can carry. We've seen how they've accosted black people, and they see the attention it got. I strongly believe they took that sentiment and thought it was going to work for them. So along with the supremacists, they sat there and tried to amplify, because of course, they like to sell us that, cops killing unarmed black people and legally carrying black people, that's a rarity. They decided to take that trope and say, okay, the few black people that were attacking Asians, that's epidemic of what is going on in this country right now. The black people just don't like Asians. Okay, that's fine. It's starting to backfire on them because they kept saying that people believed it, then numbers came out and wasn't even close. But now they've pigeonholed themselves into believing this, like Diane has, and she can't get out of it. So everything she's saying now is nothing but, it just comes off like what it is, straight racism. Somebody tried to quote her article that she wrote, an opinion piece, I should say, on an organization's website. You've got to be kidding me. I'm not even going to bore y'all with that. I read it very quickly. It was terrible. It screams suspected wannabe white supremacists. But you know what I customarily do? I'm going to put it here. Oh, we know Peter Liang. We know they were supporting the hell out of Peter Liang. We know this. And look what happened. They gave him all that money. And look what happened. Got fired. Where's Peter Liang now? Huh. Okay. Got you. So it's funny because Diane Yap got to go to Congress, remember? But we noticed she didn't say anything about what DeSantis did in Florida, saying Chinese citizens can't own land in Florida. She didn't say a word about that. Not a word. We looked. She didn't say a word, but I'll show you just for intensive purposes. We'll just show you. See? Didn't say nothing. She let that ride. Okay. We're going down the line. We're going down the line. Something. Would you like to see another tweet before we get into that? I'm gonna show you this tweet, and you're gonna like this tweet. You're gonna like this one. The show ain't gonna be that long, but you're gonna like this tweet.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
A shout out to Philip Lewis. He's over there on X. Shout out to him. He wrote, conservative groups have sued to shut down the Abundant Birth Project, which provides 150 pregnant Black San Franciscans a $1,000 monthly stipend. They allege the project illegally discriminates by giving the stipend only to people of a specific race. Now, I don't know who heard about that, but yes, they're actually in court right now trying to get it revoked. Diane saw that tweet on Black Friday and said this: 20 years old, first baby at 15, pregnant again, can't afford her own rent. These are exactly the people we should discourage from reproducing. Instead, one San Francisco program provides $1,000 per month, but only if you're the right race. Interesting. 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 Wallow J, you said, or what about the video in California where a PC family harassed an Asian family? Didn't say nothing. Trust me, we looked. But you know what else she didn't say anything about? Family? Tabernacle. Who remembers what happened in January with those 2 mass shootings in California, done in the Asian community, by the way? Notice Diane didn't say nothing about that. That was this one was the first one, Half Moon Bay. I think this was the one at the job. No, this might have been the second one. Yeah, that might have been this. Yeah, I think this was the second one. Sorry. When old boy went back to his job after he got let go and let off. Who remembers that? Uh-huh. You didn't say a word. And we know she wasn't going to say nothing about the one over at the dance club in the restaurant because they were Vietnamese. So we knew she wasn't going to say anything. We knew this. But yeah, Diane, why didn't you say anything about that? But you just have this unhealthy obsession with Black folks. And I don't get it. Look at this. Anti-racist is anti-Asian. How the push for equity at Lowell High unfairly targets Asians. What? Excuse me? It unfairly targets Asians? You've got to be kidding. She's not serious, is she? She might be. She might be. Now, she comes from a place called, she went to school at Lowell High School. Now, apparently they're saying that this is one of the most, one of the oldest, sorry, one of the oldest institutions past the Mississippi for 9th to 12th graders. This is what they say. We'll go with it. The funny thing is, I looked up Friends of Lowell. I looked up Lowell High School, right? And for some odd reason, I look at their notable alumni and I see Asians on there. They like some of their board members and like people that have prominent positions, they're Asian. So I don't know where this Asian hate. And this was in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. So I don't know where this came from. I mean, look, Tabernacle. She founded this organization called Friends of Lowell Foundation. She's a founding member, according to her. This is what she told Congress. Alumni on board of directors. She keeps saying there's so much racism. Look, the first person they list is a Chinese person, Li Cheng. So where is this alleged racism? Maybe I missed it. AAPI is being disrespected. This school literally produced a U.S. ambassador to Nepal. So where is this alleged racism happening in this school? You have a Nobel Prize. You produced a Nobel Prize winning scientist. Where is this racism? You have somebody in Hollywood. Where is this alleged racism? And the funny thing is, with this Friends of Lowell Foundation, they don't even mention her not one time. So they must know she on some bullshit. But okay. Sure. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll play your game. They say she's a board member on the Lowell Alumni Association. We looked. I'll show it to you. So this is the page. We gonna look. Now we got officers. Okay. So it's 2023 officers. Now remember, she said she was a board member. Look, Li Cheng, still there, 89. Peter Lee, Bob Wu. Where is this alleged Asian hate at this school? This is what she said. Where is this? Maybe I missed it. 1998. Let's look at executive director. Okay, it's a white man. 2 of them. All right. Board of directors. Lee Chang, there he is again. Adnan Khan. Okay. Yeah. Eugene Lee, Peter Lee again. Emily Moon. It could be white, but we're going to assume that we'll leave that one alone. That could be ambiguous. Tony Kwong. Pamela Sayad. Tree Tam. Annie Mew. Carrie Wong. Jennifer Wong. Bob Wu again. Julie A. Where is this? Please tell me. Where is this? Hey, you know what? They hate them so much they put them on the board. They hate them so much. Mike Yugawa. They hate them so much. They have a board meeting. You know what? Ooh. Should we? Should I say? That's what I should say. Should I? I almost want to go to this meeting, see if I could get in and ask them about Diane Yap and if y'all co-sign her. I almost want to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Let me see. You can search this site. Let's look up Diane Yap. Let me see. Well, shit. I'm starting to think that ain't her real name. I'm starting to think that ain't her real name. They said she holds a PhD. I'm finna show y'all something. Cause we looked this shit up. I'm finna show y'all something. Now that same City Journal article that I put in the chat. This is her page on there. This is her profile. Says she holds a PhD in mathematics. How the hell did she sit up there and start talking about black folk? She is the female Thomas Sowell. I said it. She is the female Thomas Sowell.
Want to do? If you is afraid to be talked about, you're
in trouble.
Come on with it.
That's amazing.
And you can tell I said that. You have a PhD in mathematics and you can't even get over, so you start talking about black folks. Ooh, she has a Substack. We can only imagine what's on there. And there it is. And there it is. Please tell me this is a joke. Oh, Lord. Critical rice theory. Please tell me this is a joke. Okay. It might be a joke. Critical rice theory. What is this? What is this? My goal, Asian and Black solidarity. My goal isn't interracial solidarity per se. It's to avoid waking up to headlines about another criminal stabbing strangers or being an elderly Asian man in a wheelchair. I will take any allies I can get, regardless of skin color. I'm almost curious to see what this link is. bet you it's a black person she tried to profile. I bet you she did. Oh, they don't even know who did it. So they said to detain somebody, which means they didn't give out the race, so she probably assumed they were black. What counts as anti-blackness in the Asian community? In an attempt to get more perspective, I asked for the best evidence that anti-black racism in the Asian community is a problem on X. I wanted to know which Asian transgressions were so egregious that, quote, anti-black racism in the Asian community is reflexively dredged up whenever there's a new report of unprovoked. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Unprovoked. Because, again, that's all she's focused on. Black on Asian, not white on Asian. That's what she's focused on. Okay, let's play. Okay, we're going to play. Here are a few of the more common complaints. Asians discourage their kids from dating black people. We've heard that. And we actually have started seeing videos of that again, but okay, they'll say it's skits. Okay. Asians open stores in black neighborhoods and sell unhealthy, addictive products, overcharge, follow black people around, behave rudely. Oops. 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 Diane. Hey, Diane. Let me holler at you. I'm gonna blow this up for a second. I want y'all to see this, just so you think I ain't lying when she said it. So people put that up here, right? Somebody, I'm guessing this was common, right? Y'all know where I'm about to go with this, right?
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
I want this woman to sit up here now and tell me that she lied and never said that. And she never thought that. I want her to lie to me and tell me she never thought that or said that. Shout out to Brother Phil and shout out to Demetra K. October 15th, 2023. By the way, she wrote this on October 2nd, 2023, the Substack. She wrote this on X. Right. No wonder they have to rely on Asian-run businesses in their neighborhoods if this is any indication of their business sense. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Keep a pin in that. Continuing, Asians have negative stereotypes about black people. More violent, less intelligent. Diane. Oh boy, you making this way too easy. You making this way too easy, ma'am. Way too easy. Because anybody will tell you she loves saying black people are stupid. She loves doing that. I'm gonna read it again. Asians have negative stereotypes about black people. More violent, less intelligent. Yet her whole page is dedicated to showing the few instances where black people are harming Asians and trying to say that we're violent, trying to say the community as a whole is violent and less intelligent, which we showed you at the beginning when she saw that picture and black men talking. She had to just double judge her ass right up in there to getting rid of people from producing that were not of quality stock. But okay. She's gonna say that she was taken out of context. That's what they're gonna tell us. Asians serve as a willing racial wedge to uphold white supremacy, supporting the ban on affirmative action. we've seen Asians happy about this. And what was more egregious is Asians knew that this was not going to help, didn't say nothing. And then when the motherfuckers came outside and were happy about it, y'all didn't call them out. We had to call them out. Then y'all jumped on the bandwagon. Mm-hmm. But hey, Diane, hello. Because you're just a treasure trove of information over here. Diane, did you ever say anything about affirmative action? I'm curious.
You know, let me go here. There's I'm gonna move on. There's a growing concern.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay. So you did. Let's see what you said. You said fracks are racist because they say something unflattering about my race. Like it or not, the existence of affirmative action means it's correct to conclude that members of favored groups are often hired based on identity rather than merit. Diane, who are you talking about? Because surely you can't be talking about the black community because we did not benefit off affirmative action. Is this a shot at white women? Because they're the number one recipients of affirmative action because they're considered a triple minority. Does that include Hispanics? Does that include the AAPI community? Because you guys are considered a triple minority. Diane, you're making this too easy. And of course, this, again, I show an exhibit of why she has an unhealthy obsession with black people. Other races have made this argument about affirmative action. You did not say a word about that. You waited till black people have a conversation. And again, you double dutched your ass up in there. And now you're trying to make black people look crazy. Interesting. It's quite interesting. Because we've already seen the next joke that y'all are trying to pull, which is going to backfire immensely in your face. You're trying to go after legacy admissions. Why aren't you talking about how legacy admissions just allow people that are favored to just walk into college because of their last name or how much their family donated? You don't want to talk about that now, do you? Hmm. Diane, you're making this too easy. Shopkeepers soon Daju fatally shot Latasha Harlins, who she suspected of shoplifting 32 years ago. Let's see what other complaints were about Asians in other countries throughout Asia and Africa, or general offenses not targeted towards black people. Cutting in line, bad parking habits. Notably absent examples of unprovoked Asian on black violence. You literally just got one right here. But I get it. You looked at the news version of this story, the 1992 riots. You didn't look at the exact story. You didn't hear her friend's testimony. Now, did you? You didn't read it. Because her friend said that she didn't steal that shit. She was taking the money out of her back pocket, and the shopkeeper overreacted and thought she was stealing it. But you missed that. But okay. Personally, yes, I'm biased. And there we go. I don't see how any of these offenses warrant the violence agents are experiencing at the hands of black criminals. Black criminals. Black criminals. So we went for black people because she wanted information. Now she got the information she wanted, didn't like it. And now we're going to play word games with the nouns. Now they're going to say criminals. Okay. I don't even see how they're remotely comparable. They're either through crime or actions that don't come close to being crimes. How can we get to solidarity? We'll have to work together to curb the violence. Well, I ain't working with you. It's often argued that there is not always racist intent driving these acts of violence, but I'm a practical person. Agents are generally practical people. Boy, if you don't sit down there and lie, you just gonna be on Substack lying. Okay. Sure. I don't care whether you stabbed me because I'm Asian or because you felt like stabbing someone today. The end result is the same and you belong behind bars. You see how they lead with their race first? And then all lives matter. But then when black people do it, when we're addressing changes that need to happen there, they tell us to fuck off. What? Who said that? Which one of you assholes said you lying? One of y'all just said I was lying. Really? Huh. Hey, what if I told you Diane had a nice little thing about reparations? Would you believe me? I think you would believe me. Who believes me? Put your hand up. I know y'all believe me, but you know, I gotta do it for the show. I gotta do it for the show.
You know, let me go here. There's I'm gonna move on. There's a growing concern.
So I don't care if I'm Asian or you just wanted to stab somebody that day. You belong behind bars. But you're telling us we can't use our race and advocate for the cousins whose family went through bullshit, who want to get reparations. It's F your race. What'd she say? No, black San Franciscans owe the rest of us reparations for all the crime. They're not all criminals. Well, we're not all responsible for redlining their poor educational outcomes. You hear her? Low incomes, high incarceration rates, or whatever else they're demanding payment for. This is what she said. This notion that we need to regrow the black population from Dean Preston is particularly demeaning. They aren't wild animals, okay? It's not up to you to regrow their numbers here. She's a special one, ain't she? She's a special one. Reparations should be opt-in only. If an individual buys into the white guilt, they can pay. Leave the rest of us alone. Okay, Diane. Sure. Okay. To achieve racial solidarity between blacks and Asians, just thought I'd point that out. Y'all know how I feel about the word blacks. More black people, I think she meant, need to get on board with separating violent criminals from the rest of society. So again, this is what happens when you double dutch into conversations and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Number one, Diane, let me help you. we separate our violent criminals from the rest of society. We don't give them any play. See, I get it. You see rappers on there, you see the kids singing their songs and all that. That's not indicative of the Black community. But that's okay. Just like how fucked up it would be if we said, hey, you know what? All them kung fu movies we see, we're going to say that's indicative of the Asian community. You see how fucked up that would sound? I know comedians did it in the 90s and the 80s, but do you know how fucked up that is? We don't even say that on stage anymore. Haven't you noticed that? So the violent criminals, like you say, the violent criminal class actually has enough compassion to not label y'all like that. It's funny we can't get it the same way, though. It's funny. We continue, though. On X, I'm accused of being anti-Black several times a day. My accusers are mistaken. I am anti-crime. Sure. You're anti-crime. They love saying that. Diane. Again, you make this too easy, Diane. You make this too easy. You're anti-crime. If you were anti-crime, you would call it out across the board. If you were anti-crime. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Diane Yap, you're making this way too easy. But I see why you're not going to show up here because again, I get it. It's X. I get it. You're on a platform where you're going to write shit and you're going to get surface level insults and comments. I get it. You're not, see, new Black media is a whole different entity. We're actually going to do some research and provide quality commentary on it. But some of us go down rabbit holes, right? Ma'am, you said you're anti-crime. We'll just highlight it for preference and for posterity. We'll highlight all this, right? We'll finish reading it because I want to show y'all something. Anti-violence, anti-riot, anti-rape, anti-burglary, anti-car break-ins, anti-robbery, anti-looting, and very much for keeping criminals, especially violent ones, apart from the rest of society so you don't have innocent victims to prey on. That's a beautiful thing. And I applaud you for doing that. It's beautiful. Here's the problem. Most of what you just put up here, according to the 2019 FBI UCR, yeah, this is mostly white people doing this, except for the robbery, because Black people lead in robbery, but you'd probably just focus on this. Yeah. Most of the crime, white folk. Anti-riot, white folk. Anti-grape, white folk do the most. Burglary, white people do the most. Car break-ins, I know they like to say Black people doing GTA, not the video game. That's actually white folk. Anti-robbery, again, Black folks led in that in 2019. Anti-looting, that was actually white folk. You can go look it up, right? But you said you all this, right? Okay. I have a question for you.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Explain to me, ma'am, why the fuck you were sitting there working with the Manhattan Institute. Explain this to me. I think the family in the Tabernacle would like to I think. Bibi Rodriguez, good morning. Huh? KG is Jamaican Chinese though? Huh? I don't know what this means, but okay. Jerome Williams, hello. Oh shit, Amir Stanfield. Hello. I didn't even see you walk in. My bad. Huh? Back to the show. Diane, explain this to us.
Huh? Nah.
Why are you working with the Manhattan Institute? For those who don't know what the Manhattan Institute is, the Manhattan Institute is a right-wing think tank. And they love talking about crime in America, but it's particularly in the black community. We already know Professor Black Truth has done something on the Manhattan Institute. Check it out. Diane Yap, why are you working with this clearly racist organization? Okay, cool. Don't believe me. There you go. Another minority prop is Diane Yap. Collins Wright, Friends of Lowell Foundation leader Diane Yap is a political analyst for Manhattan. Political analyst. Okay. So a woman who does not delve into politics, doesn't study data, because again, I've looked at a lot of her tweets. She don't put no numbers. She don't do the work. She's a policy analysis. Policy. Things that will affect people. Policy. Got it. We continue. A billionaire black-backed white. We start again. Another minority prop is Diane Yap. Collins writes, Friends of Lowell Foundation leader Diane Yap is a policy analyst for Manhattan Institute, a billionaire-backed right-wing think tank in New York City. This same organization also employs Chris Rufo as their senior fellow. He is credited with the anti-CRT panic sweeping the nation. The same panic is responsible for efforts to remove Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from the Virginia curriculum and books on Ruby Bridges from Texas classrooms. I was a canary in a coal mine. After Yap's successful outrage attack on me, she is now attacking Black America itself by insinuating that Black people are largely responsible for the anti-Asian violence in our country. The Manhattan Institute was responsible for stop and frisk under which thousands of Black and brown citizens were detained by the police without cause until it was declared unconstitutional. Black and brown women accused the police of using stop and frisk as an excuse to molest them sexually. Manhattan Institute is also responsible for broken windows. Policy analysis. Oh, you were asking if she was Jamaican Chinese? No, that's Lorna Chin. That's Miss. I'm going to talk shit about Jamaicans from Miami. No, that's somebody different. No, Diane Yap set on the West Coast. And I think she's just straight Chinese. Antithesis, hello. Bad Boy versus you seem new, but hello. B1. Darnell Lewis, hello. She's a concubine for white supremacy. Who told you that? She ain't got no man. And here's the thing. She's only getting white folk that are racist to retweet her. White women give her the blues. But yeah. Okay, Diane. Sure. Back to the Substack. That people interpret these stances to mean I'm anti-Black says more about them than it does about me. FBI arrested, here we go. FBI arrest data shows that about 2.1 million Black people were arrested in 2019 out of a total Black population of approximately 40.6%. That gives a rough estimate that around 5% of the Black population committed crimes that year. Importantly, something like 95% did not. This is the math version of trying to push the per capita argument, but okay, we're gonna go. Why is support for public safety and being tough on crime considered anti-black when a large majority of black people do not commit crimes? Now, y'all gotta watch when people write bullshit and say bullshit like this, because we understand what they're trying to say. They know damn well that black people are over policed, but it doesn't affect them, so they're not gonna say shit. They're just gonna say, well, if most black people aren't committing crime, then why are the cops always targeting them? Diane Yap, I hope you understand, because I know cops and I've known cops. They are told to go to black neighborhoods and over police. Why do you think stop and frisk is there? I guess you forgot about, they did that in LA, but I guess you forgot about the jump out vans. I guess I could tell you stories on New York City where the cops would show up on the back door and just start pulling motherfuckers off the bus for no damn reason. Talking about some, oh, they jumped the fare, which was bullshit. Now I get it. During the pandemic, they started taking fares again, and people thought that the policy wasn't in effect. That the policy was still in effect. That we can extrapolate out. But yes, before the pandemic, cops were jumping on the buses, just pulling random black men and black women off the bus and fucking with them. I saw it in Brooklyn. I saw it in Queens. And finally, before the pandemic, people had enough nuts to say, hey, that's fucked up. What are you doing? And they started recording these cops. And then they started slowly phasing it out. But all right. In fact, most victims of black criminals are also black. Okay? It's called intraracial crime. Just like most Asian victims are Asians. And most Asian offenders are Asians. But you knew that. Doesn't it stand to reason that removing the criminal element benefits law-abiding black people the most? I'd argue that it's very much pro-black to be in favor of imprisoning criminals. Pro-black. She's a funny one. I like her. No, I don't. She's funny as hell. I think the problem is that too many black people sympathize with, here we go, identify with, or even lionize the criminal element within the group. Motherfuckers got to get off social media and touch some grass. Jesus. When Takaya Young was shot and deleted by police, I tried to empathize. I asked myself, what if Takaya was Chinese? Would I be in the streets protesting? What the fuck? What? Huh? Let me read that again. When Takaya Young was shot and deleted by police, I tried to empathize. I asked myself, what if Takaya was Chinese? Would I be in the streets protesting? Why in the fuck would that be one of your thoughts? Why not talk about we need to figure out what happened and get justice for this young girl? Your first thought was to put her in a Chinese mask and ask if you would go outside. So you see a citizen getting killed by the police and your first thought is to rationalize going outside. If they were Chinese. Huh? But she's not anti-black, right? This is what she said earlier. I'm not anti-black. I'm not anti-black. That's what she said. Okay, fine. Whatever. The answer is no. My response would have been the exact same, except with added secondhand embarrassment. So for your own people, you wouldn't stand up. Good to know. Yeah, she makes us look really bad. I don't think I'm alone in this opinion. There's a meme that Mexicans don't protest in the streets when a cop shoots one of them because pendejo probably did something to deserve it. Well, Well, they came outside on them cops in Uvalde, but y'all don't want to have that conversation. All right. Ultimately, does not serve any group to identify with its criminals. The criminal justice system may not be perfect, but criminal justice reform is too often a zero-sum game. Does it benefit society to be lenient with criminals when that means more innocent victims will be robbed, beaten, raped, murdered? Addressing root causes is a popular ask, but it can't address current problems. The hell it can't. The criminals who are active now need to be dealt with. We can't turn back time and prevent them from becoming criminals. Those who believe in Black and Asian solidarity should support district attorneys who are tough on crime and use all relevant enhancements. Sure. Crimes resolve quickly with the help of public surveillance, facial recognition. So you want us to turn into China and the UK. Okay. But y'all don't like it when they use so-called public surveillance and facial recognition and find out it's white folk whooping that ass. Yeah, then it's unconstitutional then, right? Oh, Darnell, she said something about that. Yes, she did. Escalating penalties, especially for violent crime, the 3 strikes law. I've never heard anybody say they didn't support the 3 strikes law. We said that it was used to lock up Black folks way too much. They were putting felonies on people that were misdemeanors. And you got that from Biden anyway. Shit. I said his name. Fuck. I was really hoping.
Insult to my existence.
Shit. My fault. Targeted police of gang violence. Man, oh God. And she has a link. Oh God. We're not going to talk about them Asian gangs, right? We're not going to talk about them Asian gangs, right? Okay. We're not going to talk about them Asian gangs. I get it. All right. Repealing laws like Proposition 47 that downgrade felonies to misdemeanors. Okay. Charge juveniles as adults for violent crimes. Okay. Repealing bail reform for violent crimes and repeat offenders. A 2021 Ipsos poll shows that more Black Americans, again with the lowercase and the B, but okay, oppose versus support defunding 37 versus 28% of or abolishing 51-22 police. So that's a good start. The thing that criminal justice advocates don't seem to understand is that efficiently identifying and excluding criminals from society benefits everyone except Black people, especially Black people. Uh-huh. I can't stand this woman. I can't stand this woman. It's funny that she loves cracking on Black people, but she won't really go talk to Black people. She gonna talk to motherfuckers that ain't got no skin in the game, ain't done no work. I was fixing to play this. You know, I was fixing to play this video, family, but I listened to it, and this motherfucker, he did a bad interview. I don't even want to bore y'all with this. But if you won't, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Y'all can go look at it at your leisure. Like, if you're gonna conduct an interview, let that person talk. Let them trip themselves up. He spent an hour and a half talking to her and ain't saying nothing. But anyway. That's old Diane in a nutshell. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate. Did you really think that was it? Y'all didn't really think that was it, did you? There's one other thing I gotta address. Diane only talking about. She right. She's not for racial solidarity. She's right. Oh, she's right.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Because if you were for racial solidarity, oh, Diane, you would have called this out. By the way, that's right. This is an old story. This is one of her good friends, by the way. I hope y'all know that. Ann Shu, this is one of her good friends. They know each other well. Bay Area officials call for school board appointee Ann Shu to resign over racist remarks. I wonder what she said. Several top San Francisco officials are calling for the resignation of Ann Shu, a member of the San Francisco Board of Education who recently made racist comments in a candidate questionnaire form for a political group whose endorsement she hoped to earn before the November elections. 3 members of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, Shaman Walton, Connie Chan, and Dean Preston, have called. Dean Preston was the black guy that she referred to in that earlier tweet, who talked about reparations for black San Franciscans, have called for Shu to step down. Shu was appointed to the school board by Mayor London Breed after 3 previous members of the board were recalled in a special election earlier this year. Shu, who is running to remain in her seat this year alongside Breed's other 2 school board appointees, filled out a candidate questionnaire for San Francisco Parent Action in which she made comments that reinforced racist stereotypes about black and brown families. We're getting close. Shu responded, to a question about what San Francisco schools can do to improve outcomes for marginalized students by saying a, quote, lack of family support among those students is a big challenge for educators. From my very limited exposure in the past 4 months to the challenges of educating marginalized students, especially in the black and brown communities, I see one of the biggest challenges as being the lack of family support for those students, she wrote. So in 4 months, you had limited exposure and you sought to write that on a fucking questionnaire. Interesting. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Whew. But okay. Unstable family environments caused by housing and food insecurity, along with lack of parental encouragement to focus on learning, cause children not to be able to focus or value learning. Shu apologized for remarks on Tuesday, saying she is committed to listening, learning, and growing as a person. Despite her apology, calls for her resignation by other San Francisco officials began to trickle in Thursday. Walton, who represents District 10 as the president of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, was first to demand that Shu step down. Diane, you need to choose better friends. But okay. San Francisco Board of Education member Ann Shu recently made racist statements about Black and brown students, stating that their parents do not encourage their children to focus or focus on or value learning. He said in a statement, "This is flat out wrong and racist to perpetuate harmful stereotypes on Black and brown students and their families who have been disenfranchised by systemic racism for decades." Okay. That was more for the brown part, but okay, fine. These statements are reflective of how a person really feels, and is evident that anyone with these beliefs should not be responsible for making decisions for our children. Chan, who represents District 1, agreed with Walton, saying in a Thursday statement that Shu's words perpetuate racist stereotypes and further divide communities of color. And it goes on and on and on. But I guess they actually did something right, because she got kicked off. Yes, she did. She got gone. November 17th, they voted her out. So she's no longer there. So I'm sure that's a good thing, but we'll see. But you don't believe me that, before we go, that Diane, that's a friend, right? Y'all don't believe me. Figured you didn't.
You know, let me go here. There's I'm gonna move on. There's a growing concern.
She wrote a whole Substack about it. And she knew. She wants you to sign up for email so you can read this. Hell no. Nope. Here we go. Despite her apology, she faced backlash, including San Francisco Board Supervisor President Shaman Walton asking Commissioner Shu to step down. "We need courageous leaders who are willing to consider uncomfortable and politically unpopular root causes if we want to make real progress in closing the achievement gap. Was Commissioner Shu wrong? How do we measure how much families value education?" So this goes back to that trope that Asians somehow value education more than anybody else. Diane, I'm glad you think like that, because we've already shown here on this channel how y'all value education. You push your kids to the point that they don't know how to function in society. Oh, we're going to go there today. It's beautiful to have a 4.41 GPA, a damn near perfect SAT, but if your kid can't function, you should not be surprised that a college or university does not want them. Likewise, we have done articles, we've done commentary on the Asian community paying people to take tests for them. We have done this. See, other groups don't get afforded that opportunities, especially us. There's a reason why people try to call y'all the model minority. I call y'all the model minority. But there's a reason why people call y'all the model minority, because they think that because your people come over here, that you somehow have the copyright and the patent to struggle to become great. And that's further from the truth. But what you try to do is you try to nice it, and it doesn't work. So then you nice it, but then still try to throw subtle jabs, and people pick up on it and then rightly cuss you out for it. Like you did here. When you say that Black and Hispanic families value education just as much as their white counterparts, but then you start asking these questions. So in one breath, you're saying that parents that are not Asian value education in Black and brown communities, but then you want to put qualifiers out there. Cool, we'll play that game. Okay, so Asians are they value education, correct? Cool. Let's say, how much do your kids play sports? How much do your kids work in your businesses if you have one? How much are they responsible for stuff at home? We're going to talk. How many of them are helping other students at the same time? How many of them are teachers' pets? We know y'all send your kids to school 6 days a week. Shout out to y'all for that. Still doesn't help, because you're now in a situation where your kids are having even more trouble getting to their preferred schools. And doesn't seem like Black people are having that much of an issue. We know the consequences when your kids do poorly in school. We know them consequences. But okay. Okay. I'll put this one in there too, if y'all want to read it. We'll put that in there. But hopefully that gave you someone more in-depth insight to who this troll is, because that's what she is. She's a troll. I get what she's doing. She's trying to get engagement. She really thinks white people are going to just miraculously come over and big up everything she said, and she could hide between them. But even the racists don't even show up and defend her. And she be getting cooked again by them white women cooking her. Cooking her. Cooking her. But that's okay. It's okay. It's all right. She ain't say shit about the duck sauce killer. She ain't say shit. Wait a minute. Didn't some Asian woman just get killed by what do you call it, by a white man? Yes. Yes, she did. She did. Yes, she did. Diane, why didn't you say anything about it? He killed his wife, Asian wife, and left their 2 kids without parents. Y'all can go look that story up. You didn't say shit. But here's the funny thing, Sean Tate. There's actually been a drop in white men and Asian women getting together. There's actually been a drop. You're starting to see more white women getting with AAPI men, which is I didn't even know that was a thing, but okay. But it's mostly been the Middle Eastern ones. And I think what was the other one? It wasn't Chinese. I think it was Korean. Like white women getting with Korean men for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, this is y'all's Diane Yap, who won't be relevant after these elections. I promise you. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. But anyway, I can't even. I just saw a video on X. I can't even play. Diane Yap. This Asian father beat his damn daughter like a man. No, Wallow J. They were getting no Asian women and white men were going down. I don't know if they're getting. I don't even pay attention to that. If I don't see it, I don't pay attention to it. I don't know. A few months ago, I saw something that said that there's been a drop in Asian women and white men getting together. I seen the drop, but coincidentally, it happened right during the scamdemic. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah, this is her. So I put the link of that video in there because I can't play it here because we damn sure gonna get in trouble with that. But before we go, hey Diane, this is why we talk about reparations so much. But it's funny. You retweeted the same person that I'm gonna show up this morning, but she just put this up and yo ass didn't say a mumbling word. I wonder why that is.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
So the woman she retweeted this morning, who was defending black people, where is your retweet on this? Now, this is an old story, but where's your retweet on this? I bet you didn't say nothing about this. Now, did you? Who remembers this when that cop walked into that school in Tennessee and arrested 4 black girls for no reason? They didn't commit no crime. But of course, it's Tennessee, so they said it was a crime because they didn't stop the fight. That's what we're doing now. Funny. Didn't say nothing about that. Let's see what you said about George Floyd, because I'm sure you had a lot to say. You really didn't say nothing about George Floyd, or you probably deleted it. Oh, you've been cool. You're hella quiet. Oh, you came on X in July 2022. Okay, cool. We gonna check something. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Mm. At least the mathematician knew. At least they knew that that equation of starting talking like that, you weren't going to get over. All right. I just had to check to see if she said something about George Floyd, Chauvin, and everybody else, but she ain't say nothing. That's probably smart for her. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. I get ready to go plantation. I'm glad y'all came up in here. I appreciate it. If you learned something, that's great. If not, next time I will do my job better. I know I fucked that up, but it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully y'all will join me on Monday for the 3,000 subscriber celebration. We're gonna have fun. That's gonna be a chill stream. We're gonna have fun. The link will be in the description box and in the live chat. I'll describe my year. We'll celebrate. We play funny videos, talk about chill shit, no politics, and we're gonna have fun. And you will have an upload tomorrow. You will have an upload tomorrow. So there's that. So y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your day.